Dark fairies. Listen closely, because the story I'm about to tell you isn't meant to soothe you to sleep. It's a warning for those who still believe in fairy tales. It started last fall, in a small town tucked deep within endless forests. A young couple, Jessica and Mark, set out to hike the old trails. They were seasoned travelers, knew the forest like the backs of their hands. But only Mark came back. They found him 3 days later, sitting on a fallen tree at the forest's edge, eyes hollow and distant. His story sounded like madness. Jessica had gone to fetch water from the stream and simply vanished. He searched all night and found only strange things: her backpack, neatly arranged on the grass like a display, and shimmering footprints that glinted in the moonlight. Search teams combed the woods for a week. Every time they found the same thing: glittering trails leading into the thickets, wilted flowers strewn along the paths. A month later, a local woman, Sarah Collins, disappeared while picking mushrooms. Then a tourist from out of state vanished. All of them were young, full of life. The old townsfolk began to whisper about ancient legends. Old Joseph, the last native of the region, finally broke the silence. "They're back," he said, his voice cold as the grave. "The light stealers have awakened. Your souls feed their hunger." The ancient truth. What do you know about fairies? Think they're tiny creatures with gossamer wings from children's books? Forget those sweet illusions. The real fairies are something else entirely. When the first settlers came here centuries ago, they brought more than just hopes of a new life. They carried with them an ancient terror from old Celtic myths. In those tales, fairies were never kind. They were the Sidhe, people of the hills, guardians of the veil between worlds. Their unearthly beauty concealed a predator's nature. For centuries, they fed on human vitality, draining the life from anyone caught in their web. Masters of illusion, they could wear any face, weave visions so vivid, the victim would willingly walk into their grasp. Their true form? Picture a humanoid figure stretched by time and hunger. Elongated limbs, spider-like fingers tipped with claws, faces that seem lovely from afar, but up close reveal rows of needle-like teeth and eyes that reflect the bottomless void of the ages. These creatures have strength beyond human, and speed to match. They command nature, trees that move, soil that swallows tracks. They share a hive mind, hunting in perfectly synchronized packs. They're nearly immortal, untouched by ordinary weapons. But even beings like them have weaknesses. Iron scorches their flesh like fire. Salt forms barriers they cannot cross. They're bound to their lands and weakened during the new moon. But under the full moon, they are almost unstoppable. Their purpose is simple and horrifying: to maintain the balance between the living world and the shadow realm, by sacrificing those whose life force can sustain them for decades. The night hunt. Thomas Harrison, brother of the missing Sarah, couldn't wait for the authorities anymore. He'd studied everything he could about these creatures, drawing from old Joseph's stories. On the night of a full moon, when the fairies are strongest but also most exposed, he entered the forest. Around his neck hung an iron cross. His pockets were stuffed with pouches of salt. His shotgun was loaded with iron shot, forged specifically for this hunt. The forest met him with dead silence. No rustling leaves, no cries of night birds, only his ragged breath and the pounding of his heart. Shimmering tracks led him deeper into the woods, where the trees grew so close, even moonlight struggled to break through the tangled branches. That's when he saw them. They stood in a clearing, what looked like people, or what was left of them. Their eyes were closed, their faces serene, but something about their posture was wrong. Encircling them were the creatures. Their movements defied natural law, bodies bending at impossible angles. From afar, they looked like beings born of moonlight and mist. But Thomas saw past the glamour. He saw the claws, he saw the teeth, he saw the ancient bottomless hunger burning in their inhuman eyes. "Give us your energy, mortal." A voice cracked through his skull like ice breaking. "We will grant you eternity." "What kind of eternity?" Thomas rasped, raising his weapon. "An eternity of feeding our hunger." The fight was brutal and fast. Iron shot tore through their ethereal flesh. Salt burned them like acid, but they were fast, terrifyingly fast. Claws slashed his shoulder. Icy fingers closed around his throat. He fought back with everything he had. The iron cross sent them reeling. Salt circles shielded him from their advance, but most of all he believed they could be beaten. When the sky began to glow with morning light, the fairies retreated. He managed to rescue 3 people from their trance. The rest were lost forever. At the cost of victory, the rescued awoke with hollow eyes. They remembered every second of their captivity. Each moment their life force slowly drained to feed the ancient predators. Some never returned to a normal life. The forest fell quiet, but not dead. The fairies withdrew into the deep, licking their wounds, waiting for better times. Thomas knew they'd return. Each night, he heard their distant call echoing through the trees. Each morning, he found fresh, shimmering tracks at the town's edge. He drove iron stakes into the ground around the perimeter, scattered salt on every trail leading into the woods, warned everyone who would listen. But how do you hold back a hunger that's older than time? And now, as I finish this tale, I leave you with a question. How many forests exist in this world? How many places still hold to the old pacts between realms? So, next time you see a beautiful stranger in the woods beckoning you to follow, remember this story. When you notice sparkling tracks on a forest path, turn around and go home. Because real fairies don't grant wishes. They devour dreams and drain the living, and they are always hungry.